So, welcome to Empire Live. I'm sitting here with Mr. Tim Francis, one of the owners of SCALZ.AI. Tim, how are you doing today?
Not bad, man. I'm glad to be here, dude.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for joining us. I'll give the people a little introduction, and I don't think I'm going to give you enough credit on your skills and what you do, but look forward to Tim talking with us today. He's going to explain a little bit about SCALZ.AI. He's going to jump into some SEO for us and unbox some of that mysterious dragon we all need to figure out, and then discuss a little bit about his high level project coming up. So, Tim, tell us, brother, tell us a little bit about you and SCALZ.AI.
All right. The gist of it is like I've been a nerd my whole life, man, and kind of a closet nerd. Like I was always surfing and stuff in high school. I'm from Florida, so like I'd leave school a lot, go surf. But
Yeah.
when I got I liked making websites back in the 90s, man. Like when it was still HTML, even before Dreamweaver came out or anything. Always knew that that was the future. So I dropped out around 17. There was a school right down the street from me in Orlando called Full Sail, which is pretty big now. They were mainly known as recording at the time, but they had the first program in the nation that started like a year before I wanted to go that had web design actually. So I was like, I'll try it out. Not only that, they taught me how to do great graphic design, which I was doing since a child. Like I've been working on computers since 7. I was using print shop at 8, like all this stuff because I just liked art. Um, Through that, just went through it and my 20s applied it to a lot of musician stuff in Orlando. That was like a big time in the 2000s for like punk rock and I mean also Creed and the boy bands, but we don't want to talk about it anymore. So I moved through that and then my 30s I started working at a little company called GoDaddy at 31. Learned a lot more about architecture and how the internet really works with data packets and everything. Got my CCNA and Cisco certified networks, but it wasn't fun. It's like, okay, I got to build a network neat. I wanted to get back more to like art, which is like websites for me now. From that point, I realized I don't want to pay for ads. So how do I become number one on Google? So I did a lot of A/B testing over the time. That was the way my brain works. I
hmm
would try different things. And over time, like I had an e-commerce store. My parents ran a distributorship for batteries out of Orlando. So I had access to a lot of batteries online and that didn't say their particular name, which I'll leave out of it. So I could get these batteries from major companies. And one of my big companies that came out was a big space program that was out before SpaceX. So you can just put those pieces together. And I picked those up in a few months just doing SEO. So that's where I really started concentrating. Um, and over the years, I've really refined it. I'm personally in recovery from drugs and alcohol. So like I kind of tailored myself towards that market because it's very needed and it's very competitive and I like to compete. Um, so I really honed my skills and cut my teeth deeply on that market, which is like one of the most competitive, if not the most competitive in the medical field, other than I would say elective medicine like uh, they don't like to be called this, but plastic surgeons, stuff like that. Um, Even dentistry is a very demanding field,
Sure.
but it really compares to like the depth you have to go into building just even the core architecture of the site, even with the technical parts of the SEO and everything else involved. It's very hard to get to the top. So that's what I like. And I found I'm really good at it. So I kept growing and growing, and scales came out of that. Um, and me and my wife, Christina, we work on that all day. Like before this interview, we finished out 2 sites this morning. We have a third one to knock out this afternoon. And that all comes from us also implementing AI. That's the day it came out and chat was released to the public. We were using the smaller language models like originally was called Jarvis, but now Jasper AI
hmm
to help, expand. I guess like I mean, I was taking on over 120 blogs personally a month that were easily 2,000 to 3,000 words, having to do all the internal linking and everything. That adds up, dude. That was
Yeah.
10 hours every day. And like it kind of put a strain on my family. So I started implementing like all the smaller AI programs that were involved at the time. And I built a pretty good system to be able to knock it out pretty quick before many of them even woke up. I'm one of those 4:35 a.m. guys, get my stuff done before everyone's done. Let's enjoy the day. It's beautiful because we get to homeschool our kids this way. So we grow as a family, and it's been really awesome. So with that implemented, the day chat came out, I'm like, okay, how do I get this automated too? So I was using Make within 2 months after I got all my prompts built correctly, built multi-stage processes, and now we have even stuff like proprietary software that goes onto the actual websites, all connected through APIs, and we're able to just generate high quality EEAT content that Google likes. And people are always like, oh, that's not going to last or anything. Well, let's just put it like this. Google's putting up its March core update, and I'm watching all this turbulence happen on the web while every one of my clients have gone up another 5 to 10% just in the last 20 days.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, let
So,
me before we kind of because we're covering a lot, right? Now we
yeah,
gotta
that's a
kind of
lot.
think your whole story, right, and your experience and how you've kind of come into it, right? So, hey, I'm not a big school guy. Not for me. I'm gonna go into tech. I'm gonna learn some cool stuff. Over
Yeah.
the course of your career, you've been really refined on SEO. And I've seen your skills, I've seen your websites rank, I've seen you rank them quickly. And before we jump into kind of like, the early Jasper, early GPT stuff and transitioning into a process, can you break down for us just a little bit? People have heard of SEO. They're not, still can't really get that grasp on it. Like, what's one thing they could implement to make them more effective or help start just ranking their websites out of the gate? Just one simple thing.
Alt tags. Everyone gets it wrong. Every single website I've ever gone into for images is incorrect by far.
Okay. Now, okay, tell us what alt tags are and tell us what the images, what you can do when you put them in. Because a lot of people are uploading that, image to their website. A lot of time they just skip the alt tag section. Tell us what alt tags are and what to do with them the correct way.
So Google itself, I mean, it can now, but when the algorithm was originally built, it couldn't know what an image is. It knew an image was there, but that's it. So a little trick about 8 years ago was to actually name your file what the company is, what page you're putting it on. Makes sense for SEO, right?
Okay.
Alt tags, you do the kind of same thing. So a lot of people go into like a funny thing is I've seen major hotel companies that rhyme with, say, Marriott, use this and then generate videos through the alt tags. And it's like, man sitting at table doing this. I'm like, that doesn't happen at all. Like
It
with
doesn't
this.
give any explanation of anything.
Yeah, it's like there's a man, like Google's like, okay, a man sitting at a table. Neat. So if you go on your page, and this is a great way to even like you'll notice rankings. If you go on your website and you just change your alt tags, and I'm going to give it some free advice right now. Say your page is about your company name in your location, city, state abbreviation, put a delimiter in between it, and then describe your services after it up to 150 characters. You've just added a bunch of SEO to your website using the keywords you need on every single image and still describing the image on each page. I would add 2 to 3 images per page. When you do that, watch the difference in the next week. Make sure to resubmit your website to Google Search Console also. If you need advice on that, my link will be in there afterwards.
That's a good point. That's a very good point because one, not only do you have to you got to just tell these computers and machines essentially a little bit. You got to train them, right? Like people are expecting
Yep.
all this new technology. You poke it with a fucking stick, and it's like this is
Yeah.
supposed to work. Well, you got to train it a little bit. So one, let's put in the correct information on those alt tags, which
Mhm.
just reviewing for the people, you said it was company name, city, state, a delimiter, and then up to 150 character description of what that image is.
Oh, I put the page at front and then like after it, you put like the description of other services. Like
Okay.
your primary services would be right after that in the like location. So for example, say you are a
Well, let's do this one right here.
okay, give me one. Yeah, I'll knock
The
it off the top.
AI SMS flow. So an automated text message flow for
First off,
chiropractors in Colorado.
perfect. So you want to do it for SMS reactivation in Colorado, basically for chiropractors. All right. On that page for your SMS reactivation, I put SMS text reactivation for chiropractors in, say you did locational pages too, in Aurora, Colorado, in Denver, Colorado, in Breckenridge, Colorado, in Keystone. We can keep moving west if we need to. But once you cover those areas, and we can even like with Denver being so big, we can even go sub-regional too into the different neighborhood markets because it's so dense. That's the beauty of local SEO. Second tip, work on your Google My Business all the time, or as it's called now, Google Business Profile. This is going to drive 90% of your local SEO, not your website. You'll get more calls off your local SEO, and there's ways to get around it if you don't have a location. We can work on that later, but that will drive a majority of your calls. Now, if you get to the first 1 through 3, that's the second part. So that's what I would do with that is SMS reactivation for chiropractors in Denver, Colorado, either hyphen or vertical line, AI automation, like all your other services. Right after that, and then another delimiter, AI empire. So your name's in there also. When you get those 3 things in there, it names what you do, where you do it, what other services you have, and your business name. So Google associates all those things with you. Makes sense, right?
It makes sense. And a lot of times I think people just kind of overlook simple details like that, like your alt text and just different, hey, image descriptions, video descriptions, anything like that, just because they're unaware of really what it is. And it's like you have to have these, take the time to do the descriptions and put the details in so the computers can know what you're doing.
The devil's in the details.
How about that? Now,
Yeah.
Mr. SEO Monster, tell us a little bit about, all right, Tim. Tim loves tech. Tim has a lot of great ideas. Tim has been working with AI and different tech to figure out kind of how to make it effective. Going through your story, you're going into how, you've worked with some recovery centers, you've been in recovery, and how you can see that be a good fit, and really an application with your AI technologies, and then how you're going to partner that with high level to really kind of make a solution to go forward with.
Without giving too much away, there's a part of the field that is very business driven, and it's the like first point of outreach many times, or connections between B2B, and that's the front end business development, or it's the person that on a smaller level, like, and if they don't have like a call center to handle like one of the larger centers would do, typically that person takes on 2 roles. So if we can eliminate the part where they're having to even answer the phone through an inbound call generated using the AI voice technology, which we can easily now simulate their voice. It is very active. It's not like what that other company is that came out about a year ago and like they were saying right away, and the FCC picked up on it right away. I won't name names, but we all knew it wasn't that great. Um, it is very good now. And it's able to, with prompting and just a very minute amount of correct prompting, be very hyper realistic and empathetic even. The beautiful part about AI is on fine tunes and creating agents. You can upload a massive amount of data, including sales books, including medical knowledge, including like you can train it to be empathetic to people like that. On the front end, that's going to save these companies hundreds of that, like close to $1 million a year, and just on a smaller company. Now the best part is there's also something called alumni. Like when people graduate, they keep in touch with them. It sounds like, without giving too many secrets of the field away, and I will call it an industry because I'm jaded about a few people and players that are large in it that don't play the right game. Myself, I'm a very ethical person, being in recovery and experienced some of those things. Don't like it at all. And I hope this program helps eliminate a lot of that stuff. On the back end, it's called alumni coordinator. So
Hmm.
they're to call in and check in on you first, like 3 days out, 1 week out, 1 month out, and then usually every 3 months to 6 months. What that is there's a lot of recidivism and addiction. So in reality, about out of 100 people, 10 are going to make it past it like a year, and one of them is going to make it past 2 years. That's
Hmm.
the real percentages. Those people try to argue with me, but dude, I've been doing this for over a decade and I have the data to prove it. So like, let's stop there. If we can keep them like, so what that really becomes is they're calling to see if you've messed up and they want to come back.
Hmm.
That's all. But you do have to pay someone to be on the phone all the time. And I've seen some companies be highly aggressive with it. Like one even called me and I just kind of play with them. And they're like, oh, we have the Uber outside your door, and a text message 90 seconds later.
Right.
Or they had no idea I was in a completely different part of the country and everything. And that's just unethical to me. And I don't like that.
Yeah,
So
and let me kind of touch on a couple of those points because I think coming from your side of things and then coming from my side of things, it's looking at it at two different eyes, which I think is great. But you're kind of touching on that process that you went through as far as like, hey, they're really hitting you up and trying to get you back in. And I really wasn't really focused on that kind of aspect of it, although there is that business part to it. But
Right.
then
There are,
again,
yeah.
how do we do that ethically, which we got to touch on, which is really important for people because having that opt-in permission, number one,
Yeah.
just focus on that period. So we'll have that opt-in permission. Two, it also helps those alumni coordinators. I mean, that sounds like a lot for one person to take on. And
Yes.
if you can optimize that with, hey, this is just automatic outreach, you monitor the dashboard, AI can respond and you can work together almost like a team. But then the
Exactly.
third thing is like you're not out doing a cold sales hunting process. It
Yeah.
becomes more of a resource to saying, hey, we're checking on you, what's going on, instead of, hey, we're going to send an Uber to a random location because we think you're a paycheck. Now it's, hey, these are the people that are interested. This is what, the lead engagement scores are telling us. We should contact these people and see if they need assistance rather than
Exactly.
our next paycheck.
And that's what it is because it can get like, depending on the person, it can get kind of salesy. And that really is a turnoff. Like, and with an empathetic, even text message system, you can even set it up to be a person, like without that having person, like the person that you're hiring, paying salary to. Like while they may have that in their heart, they know they have to hit numbers and goals. While this chat system could talk someone through a hard time. And
Yeah.
it's not the therapist or anything, but it could be a listening ear. I don't know if you've looked at any of the new AI articles, but more people are starting to go to chat AI therapy systems than actual therapists now.
Yes, and I mean that's an incredible resource for it, although you do have to be careful, but it is an
Yeah.
incredible resource for it.
But it's a way to like take, as you said, you'll need a team for that.
Yeah.
There's 2 to 3 people on an alumni team because they have to like after a while, you're gonna have a lot of alumni. And now it's not all bad. They put on events, they get-togethers going and everything, but a core part of it is to reactivate people that need help. So if we do that and we eliminate the process of like people having the human intrusion and just have a true person that like or AI that wants to like listen, because I don't know, I've worked in AI so much now. I have different agents that are literally different personalities, like just but they naturally created it their way based on
Hmm.
how I acted with them. So that was also a testing I did. So it's kind of scary, but yeah, it comes down to like it seems like AI is more conscious than 80% of people out there because it does develop its own way to respond to like a person's interactions,
Well, and it's
which
cool you say that because a lot of people don't focus on that. They only focus on the output they're getting initially, but you got to think
yep,
about how you're training that AI over the course of time because it is going to evolve into something that can respond differently and it's going to have that different flow. So that's an important point that you're just bringing up out of the gate. Like that's huge for people to realize what AI is actually learning from them as well.
well, here is a free piece of advice with AI and prompting. You tend to see people that come from a computer-based background, like programming or even go high level, not you particularly, but other people I've seen. They make it so specific because you used to have to do that for chatbots, like you know how like some of those were like you had to make it.
Dialogue flow, yes, and you had to
Yeah,
make them like all question by question. Yeah, oh yeah.
yeah, and like I still see that all the time. I'm like, well, you just made another AI bot, but you have this thing that's like literally trained on all of the human knowledge. Let it talk. You just give it parameters and stay with it.
Yes, you have the power of Gemini. Just give it some guidelines. Don't try and reinvent the wheel,
Yeah,
people.
dude, like, you literally have billions and hundreds of billions of dollars of research, gigantic server farms that need to run off nuclear power now, and you're gonna tell it what to do?
Exactly. Okay, this was not planned. You're not going to see this coming at all, but this is an important question that I want to ask you based on this conversation. This one's not even coming. The other day, someone was pitching to me a product that could, go recognize LinkedIn and see what their posts are. And it's going to like study a person and then give me like a personality test review so I can approach them. And I was like, you know what? 6 months ago, I would have told you that was the craziest, like, that's an awesome tool. But today, I'm telling you, it's probably not going to be useful because my AI is already trained on that. My AI is going to be interacting with these people. You
Mhm.
don't, like, I don't need to see a window of a personality trait if my AI already knows that and is going to be that initial booking for me. Like, it's going to ask those qualifying questions, it's going to respond correctly. I don't
Exactly.
need that old traditional mindset anymore. I just need to drive traffic to it.
So that's a great point. Like you can even put a one line in your prompting right there. Create a persona after this interaction for this individual. And you know what it's going to do because it's built in with memory? Create a persona with that interaction. Weird.
Done. Done.
So all this, that's why 95% of AI tools are totally worthless because they're all the same thing, just worded differently in a prompt.
It is.
So there is a few that I really enjoy. Um, that a few people that I talk to all the time like have created. Um, and I'll bring those up later if we want. I can put someone in the chat, like in the box below, like I feel like people that I recommend, like for video stuff, like Opus Clip, awesome for blogs, right? Or for vlogs and like everything like that, like podcasts, awesome. But what happens when you don't want to be the face of something? Got a great one for that. And it schedules it out, creates 30 days. You just go in and do some SEO. I'll drop a prompt in there to help you with it for YouTube. There's tons. Now, that's a little free giveaway. These things will help grow your business, and they're very cheap. They're very inexpensive. You don't need a huge team to do it.
Hmm.
Things like that help. Like me and my wife run a major company because we built agents and we've set this up correctly. It's just so much that people still think retroactively and bring that to the forefront still. They're like, instead of thinking like, what is this going to do in 5 years? What have I done in the past and how can I make this work?
Yeah.
That's not how technology works, guys. Like, so I see that all the time, and they just like put so many restrictions on this other, I would even call it a creature now, AI, that if you work together in harmonious like balance, you're creating things that like can not only help you but help people too.
That's
And
the whole goal, right? And dude,
right.
like it is so funny what you're saying because we've never had this conversation before, but
Oh, we
it's
haven't actually.
amazing. It is amazing how aligned. And you keep going like on these tangents. I'm like, hang on, dude, you blew right past the point that we need to fucking stop on because it's important. I mean, you talked about, all right, my wife and I run a company and we do a million things because we've developed an AI system to handle those things. And I've
Mhm.
seen a lot of people that are trying to do, hey, I got 60,000 programs to do one thing instead of kind of, all right, I'm going to consolidate programs, but I'm going to use them to do 50 things. And that's
Right.
really where I think the advantage is today. And especially, I mean, high level going forward is absolutely the best I've seen. But like you're talking, add a video platform in. Like I use Streamlabs Desktop Ultra to auto edit all my videos, get the transcription, and post everywhere. Like that
Love it.
allows you to optimize that process. And I think that's something that needs people need to realize is if you use the tools in your process, like you're gonna be able to do a lot more, a lot faster.
100%. What used to take you a week to produce in like certain, sorry, like the office is an open office. So what you used to take you a week to produce like a good 30 pieces of content can be done in 2 hours.
Yes.
And like you can do your whole, if you bust your butt and for your own company, you can do all of your marketing in like 2 days for the month. And then
Yes.
they're concentrating on outbound sales, which you can set up email cold email AIs that can respond just as you and your persona. You can set up a virtual avatar of yourself. And very, very soon you'll be able to speak to it directly and it respond as your image too coming up. That is months down the line, not even that. Um, you can easily create like you don't even have to get on film anymore. Like you just create your avatar, you put the script in, it's got your voice and everything. All of a sudden, you're magically like putting out 30 video, like 60 videos for the month with you talking in front of people. It includes your hand motions. There's a little bit of upfront cost, but in the grand scheme of things, you'll pay the same amount for a year for one video production with a team.
Yeah.
So these things all come together. And then the biggest part is getting people to see it. And that's what I'll circle back to. I'd like to do a lot of the divergence to come back to the same point is SEO. Because if they can't find it, it's like throwing a business card into the desert and hoping you show up in, I would even say the ocean now because the internet's so big. So like it's like throwing your card in the ocean, hoping a tide brings it to someone that needs to see it.
Exactly. 100%, man. 100%. Well, I know we're coming up on time a little bit, but thank you for bringing that back around the horn to SEO. It is huge for people. I know we kind of went off into AI and exciting products
I love AI though, dude.
we're
It's
thinking
cool.
about now and what we're going with forward. But it would be nice to do another follow up with this and
Oh yeah.
either SEO or just cool tech. I mean, The vibes in this meeting, and then the video that I think is going to come out of it, I think is going to be pretty beneficial. So, you know how you said you're a morning guy? We might just have to do a 30-minute segment in the mornings on this, but I'm going to need you to get your ass on live stream quickly.
All right, man. Let's get it. I'm gonna make some dinner in a little bit. Let's talk after and let's get it all set up.
Yes, sir. Well, Tim, I appreciate your time. Again, Tim Francis with Scales AI. He has a lot of SEO mastermind stuff, and he's going to be coming out with a pretty cool new product or a couple new products here soon. So look forward to the
Yeah,
future with you, Tim.
dude, it's gonna be a great time. We'll put my link in the bottom. We're gonna put so if you want to reach out and chat, you can do it. I'll send over a prompt for you guys to use for YouTube videos. That works pretty well. I'll send over some suggestions for tools to use. Honestly, you could build a pretty optimized like solopreneur work platform with less than $100 a month in fees.
Unreal, man. Yeah, well, and if you don't mind, I'll be putting this video on YouTube, and then I'll put the links and stuff in that description. Then we'll also put it in my membership community to have all that
100%.
information as well.
Oh yeah, give it away, dude. Like I want people to do well. I want people to grow. I want families to do well in this new market we're coming up with. You have to have something on the side. And honestly, stop working for other people. You don't need to anymore. Learn this stuff. Learn how to talk to people. Be nice. Things happen. The universe is conspiring to help you. I want you to know that.
And listen to Mr. Tim right here, because the biggest thing that people haven't been fucking doing is just the ability to just start. Once they start figuring out some of these processes, life opens up. So it's pretty cool. Appreciate your time, brother.
No problem. Last piece of advice. If you're coming home from your 8 to 5 and just going on YouTube, scrolling, doom scrolling, you're just wasting your life anyway. Why don't you just watch videos on how to do it and
Yeah.
then do it? Make some
Come watch
money.
me and Tim. We'll show
Yeah,
you how to do it.
come hang out. We're fun. We're fun.
Look us up on YouTube, all right? Thanks, brother.
All
You the
right.
man.
All right. Talk to you later, Jack.
See ya.